anymore.
Yeah.
So sad. Come on, Execration. You could have at least given them the Saber again so we could have casted the game with the Saber in. But Execration says, you know what? We don't care if you guys didn't see that in game number 2. We saw it. We felt it. We lost. We're banning that out.
Yeah, and Yu Zhong as well, the winning factor for Execration, one of the winning factors during game number 1 is banned out. Now, Lapu Lapu really don't want Ronin Esports to go up against that. That may very well be the best ban here at this point. Good side laner, Lapu Lapu. No viable side laners yet from the side of Execration, but banning out the Lapu Lapu might just entail a Hilda being picked up.
Or actually, it could be a little bit more overkill here. They might even pick up the Veil once again. Yes, they're going to be up against the Cho this time around who could pick that off. But you already have a really good frontline zone out here that either one of these two can hold the front line and then at the same time peel for the back line. So yeah, they decide to go for the Veil. Veil gets picked up here. That gives them the zone and going to be so much harder for Cho and Benedetta to find the spots that they need to get to just to get to the back line here. Again, whoever has a stronger front line will win this game. It seems like Ronin has that stronger front line, and it was perfectly just accessorized or partnered with that Veil.
And much like what happened in game number 1 where Execration was able to just dive into the back lines without any problems, banning out that Alice, in hindsight now, is one of the best calls they can ever go for, as we see an X-Borg Lancelot picked up by Execration. Now the backline has a little bit of a problem there.
Now you have... Okay, this is now going to be very dependent, once again, still on the front line, but now it's going to be for Ronin to be able to peel their backline really, really well, because the lineup for Execration is... I'd like to call this the... Alright, let's just go in. Lineup. Because you have that X-Borg. Once that Last Insanity is charged up, you're going to want to follow that up by riding the momentum of that Last Insanity. Save your ultimates, save your abilities, your highest damage dealing ability. So after that Last Insanity pops, you have your stuns, you have your card controls, and your burst to punish Ronin Esports, who potentially use their escaping abilities just to get away from that Last Insanity.
And they're going to go for the Hayabusa once again.
Okay, so Hayabusa is going to be going on the side lane. Veil rocking down mid. Barretts or Isan Shin. They're going to be the... Oh, wait, okay, yeah. So it's going to be... Actually, no, yeah, there's a lot of flexibility for this lineup, but it looks like Pekka is going to be rocking that Isan Shin. So that is going to be an Isan Shin carry.
Yeah, and again, it's Isan Shin adding a lot of information game for the side of Ronin Esports. As soon as the Mountain Shocker starts coming in, you will know where each and every single one of the members of Execration will be. Considering the fact that Execration does have very good backline diving capabilities with the X-Borg's Last Insanity, or just with Lancelot's Thorn Rose, Barrett's there to protect them, and even the Mountain Shocker from Yisun Shin dropping down and giving information would be more than enough to keep Ronin alive, at least for the first 10 minutes or so. If we're going to see Execration drag out the game, it's a big problem. Ronin Esports will be able to keep up with the momentum that Execration would start entailing in the late game.
I'll be honest here, it's a very even draft, but I feel like the X factor here to look at would be that Veil, because that Veil blocks a lot of access for the members of Execration to just find their path into the backline, to find their targets. And Ronin Esports, all they need to do in the team fight scenario is to position themselves well enough that they're not too far or too close to the tanks, so that in case there's any trouble, a tank could peel, or Ronin can just use whatever abilities the tank has to just apply the pressure and deal the damage and win the team fight from there.
Look at this early invade by Execration, stealing away the purple, and Chakno trying to steal away this orange buff away from Ronin, or at least buy some time, as Chakno Sagitno will be responding immediately, almost falling down. Savi catching up, backing down, and yeah, this early invade for Execration, they really want to deprive Ronin any possibilities to spike up in the early game.
So we're seeing here a side lane Benedetta with Festival of Blood and Execute. So now Justin has to play his cards right here and be careful, because expect a lot of pressure to fall down here into the bottom lane for Ronin Esports, because Execration, like I said, knows that Justin is going to be the X factor here for Ronin. If they can pressure him early, which is that they're doing now, they could be able to turn it around. That could be their key.
That could be their key. Justin manages to survive by the skin of his teeth. And yeah, it's way too early to tell, but the way that Ronin Esports has been playing this is that they control the jungle well. I'm not sure if there was a steal that happened on the side, on their purple side, as Silent and the rest of Ronin Esports stealing away the resources there. Over at the top side, bottom side, Chaknu and Mark will not be able to find a kill onto Justin.
Great positioning by Naomi, just doing what tanks do for the longest time, since time immemorial. Hey, stay in that shrub and make sure that I can see if anyone's going to come and gank me here. If Naomi wasn't there, most likely Justin would have gotten taken out there. But now Mark and Kelra, the debut duo of Execration, who had a great game number 1, trying to find momentum here in the bottom lane.
Oh, Kelra immediately popping the ultimate. That's the Thorn Rose to secure the first blood onto the side of Execration. A big presence from Execration here over the bottom side. Pekka just tease a bit with the arrow and forcing the flicker out from Chaknu, actually.
Electo final blow by Kelra to initiate that, but the final blow, of course, went to Mark with that Thorned Rose. Beautiful play there by the debuting duo of Execration, and so now the pressure is going to be into the bottom lane. Now, they've gotten to the point, weirdly enough, is that for Execration, they've gotten to the point where they can't pressure too much into the top side because it's going to be hard to take down that Barrett. But we're seeing here into the bottom lane, Ronin trying to hold on as Execration continue to apply the pressure. It's a 4-man rotation versus 3. They're not going to be able to cut in the wave. Now, Execration spent way too much time there. They decide, okay, we're just going to try to go for that turtle. Instead, Ronin, let's see if they have the room to secure it, but they decide to clear the waves instead. Execration playing this real slowly. Ronin might still actually be able to steal this if Silent gets there, but nope, Execration secure the first turtle.
Kelra will go and deal the finishing blow. Not enough, though. Force the flicker out, and Ronin managed to survive there. So no conversion for Ronin there for a turret, just to trade out the turtle. Managed to stay out alive as top lane Sagitno, half HP in a dream, force the flicker out there. And force it back off. Mark, though, joining in the fray. Mountain Shaker is going to get committed by Ronin. Savvy, low on HP, slowly running away. We'll go for the Thorn Rose and will be taken out without any problems.
Now, people are probably thinking, why doesn't that Hayabusa help? Why was he just going for the farm? Okay, seriously, Hayabusa couldn't do anything in that situation. So, good thing that Silent just ran away there and left Savi to go down.
yeah, it's like, nope, I don't want anywhere near here as the Way of the Dragon into the feathered airstrike. Thorn Rose misses its mark, but Naomi immediately regretted his decision there. But yeah, if Silent decided to go back there, hey man, I'm going down with you. That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what could have happened. But then again, he's like, yeah, bro, I'll see you on the next life.
Yeah, I'm the carry. You respawn anyway. We'll be fine here. Justin, good read there. Almost taken out Sagitnu, but Sagitnu was able to recall away. So now what we're going to be seeing here from Ronin Esports for the next few minutes is to just really apply the pressure here into mid or top lane, because that's where they have a little bit more of control towards, and that's where the next objective is going to be. Unless they decide to just try to bait out Execration and to going into the bottom lane instead to try to defend that. Whoever wins the team fight here.
Hurricane Dance onto Kelra, but not a lot of follow-throughs there onto Ronin. I'm not sure if Kelra actually has Purify. Oh no, it's Execute.
Yeah.
No, manages to flicker out there just in time, though.
Yeah, I think he was able to use the second skill to just be able to get away. Way of the Dragon connects, though, and a stun, and the damage by Execration. Take out the Panda, so no more tank there, but no more Benedetta for Execration. 1-for-1 trade. Ronin, they might want to look into contesting that turtle if they can. They won't be able to break down this bottom lane tower, but turtle still goes to Execration.
Yeah, they wanted to trade out the turtle for the turret. Sure, it's a valiant effort there for themselves, but they could have at least tried to go for a steal. That would have turned the tides here in the mid game at the very least. As the bottom lane waved the dragon onto Pekka. Pekka forced to flicker out. Chakno still chasing him down. Naomi too late to assist. Already forced himself back. Kelra is joining in on the fray. We have Silent just farming out safely in the backline. It's not really paying attention. Well, not paying attention, but you know. I just want my items first, guys.
Yeah, and Ronin seems to be playing it right, and this is the style of ML that we were talking about earlier, where the other members of Ronin will really just try to create space in the map, try to win opportunities there, and if they can't, they'll be fine because their jungler has just been farming this whole time right now. And the beauty about the lineup of Ronin Esports is they have a good 4-man, even 3-man lineup to contest with Execration. They just need to be careful here, and if any of them get caught out in a bad spot, by the way, the dragon, they have to go back.
Yeah, Kelra got caught, forced to get out of there, use the second skill, made it out alive, and that's a complete disengage. Naomi is always finding the Benedetta with the 1,000-pounder, the blender and the 1,000-pounder. Yeah, but not considering the fact that they haven't not forced out the ultimate, the second skill just yet, just to escape, as the Mountain Shocker will be committed just to deter this initial push by Execration of the bottom lane, but they're going to be backing off. Feather Dare Strike forces Naomi back. Lots of damage.
Lots of damage indeed, as Sagitnu is still trying to hold on to this top lane that eventually goes down. Faraga armor surprisingly still up, just a sliver from going down. Xborg already has his immortality, so that's pretty much all the only item that Xborg needs. But look at that burst damage from the Veil! Telling the world this is why we pick Veil more often than not in the other regions. The burst onto Itomax. Goodbye, Captain.
All things considered, 7 minutes into the game, this has been relatively close. 2,000 gold lead by Execration, but doesn't amount to much as Chaknu gets singled out by 4 members of Ronin Esports. Kelra singling out Justin, not a lot of damage. Is now being focused on by the rest of Ronin Esports with Pekka and Naomi. Managed to take him down. It's a 0-for-2 trade, and this is Ronin getting back their mojo as the shadow kill is committed. Sagitnu manages to survive there, barely though.
Barely had to use the immortality, so in the second time around, if Ronin can spot out a fight with the Xborg in there, they have a sure target. That Xborg no longer has that item that brings him back to life. Now, Itomax is going to commit the Feathered Airstrike to clear the waves, and he might have, oh, that was way too close. Yeah. Again, if Justin caught that out, it would have been big for Ronin Esports. But yeah, again, we're seeing here the power of the Veil and a good rotation by Exe.
Questionable rotate if it is a really good rotate, because they're not going to be able to secure anything off of that. But I just have to highlight as this bit of a standoff, Mexican standoff happens in the river. Naomi. And the 1,000-pounder blender catches the Farsa. Forces the Flicker out. Flicker in, says Naomi, and he takes down the Farsa. Now Naomi might just pay the price here with that Thorn Rose. Sagitnu comes in with the last Insanity. Fire Missiles, not going to be enough. Shadow kill enough to kill Sagitnu as the rest of Ronin Esports collapse onto Chaknu, gets the knock-up. Thorn Rose on the Pekka, immediately gets burst down. Force the Flicker out of there. Chaknu on the chase though.
Speed is the name of the game here. Whoever gets to position themselves in crucial... Whoever gets to position themselves quicker in the key spots here as the Electro final blow gets committed just to get out, if I'm not mistaken. But Ronin don't commit into that fight. Whoever positions themselves first wins and gets a pick off here as Chaknu almost getting knocked up there. Good thing he was able to dodge that, but the Feathered Airstrike already committed. Justin down to 50. No one's going to full commit here just yet. They go for a soft reset.
And this is Execration. We're seeing the side of Execration that is a little bit careless. We saw that time and time again in the bottom lane. They tried to go for ganks, but then they got knocked up. Sagitnu, beautiful Jeet Kune Do by Chaknu, but the Hurricane Dance immediately committed to knock him down. Force the Flicker out, not enough. He's going to get taken out. Feathered Airstrike onto Naomi to try to seal the Litho Wonder or to try to zone the rest of Ronin Esports. Not enough.
Naomi is showing up big here for Ronin Esports. The tank support playing sort of as like a tank carry right now for Ronin Esports. He's not getting the kills, but he's showing up in the and bringing the moments that lead to it.
Yeah, and this is converting into a mid lane take by Ronin Esports. Sagitnu and the rest of Execration are trying to defend this. Mark, overstaying his welcome, will not be able to secure that purple buff. Mountain Shocker, once again, committed to see where the rest of everybody is. Chaknu, Blender connects, no follow-throughs with a 1,000-pounder.
Time and time again, at this point, a lot of eyes should be on Naomi right now and how he's just going around the map, as he might have gotten a pick off on Chaknu. No, Chaknu able to get away, but that bottom lane tower goes down. Ronin takes it.
And this might just be a replay of what happened in game number 2. This might just be exactly what happened during game number 2, where Ronin focused on objective. Maybe it was Execration being careless during game number 2, and we're seeing it repeat itself right now. Multiple engages in the bottom lane where they just audition as what we would say. Eto Max forced back. There goes the Wave the Dragon. Gets Naomi, but I don't think that's the target that he intended for. Chaknu low on HP. Here comes the last Insanity. Sagitnu finds nobody in that fight.
And now, Execration, it's a mix of, yeah, being careless, but then at the same time, I feel like they just didn't expect Ronin to rotate so fast. Now we're seeing a much snappier Ronin. We didn't get to see her cast game number 2, but we did see game number 1, and what we saw in game number 1 was Ronin just a little bit slow on the beat. Right now, it seems like Ronin has found the rhythm that they needed to take this game.
Chaknu still trying to single out Naomi here. It's like, yeah, we're both tanks. We're gonna face off against each other as the Hurricane Dash and the knock-up secures the kill onto Chaknu. The rest of Execration, though, Justin 1 HP in a dream, gets taken out. finally gets taken out. It's a 1-for-2 trade here for the side of Execration. Slowly regaining their momentum, but the Shadow Kill takes down the Farsa. Now it is a 3 versus 3 situation. Sagitnu, low on HP, blendered in, 1,000-pounder, gets stunned, give it to Silent. And he's back up. Here goes the last Insanity. Here goes the final blow onto Silent, but the Shadow Kill just saves his life. Benedetta trades it out. It's now a 3-for-3 trade. Now down to a 2-for-2 as Thorn Rose manages to survive. Mark running away for his life. Quad Shadow. Kelra trying to be the sacrifice here for themselves. Will be going up against a 1v2, but Chakna is going to be rejoining Flay. Not actually finally going for the Jeet Kune Do. Saves out Kelra there, but he pays the price for that. Mountain Shaker once again into Max standing all alone. Feathered Airstrike takes down Silent. And now it's the reset that they needed.
And something that I want to point out about Execration here is that we didn't see Mark for a while because Execration sort of, actually no, not sort of, they adjusted their playstyle a little bit more to what Ronin was doing in the early game. They translated that a little bit into the mid so that Lancelot can catch up a little bit more to the farm, and which is why we're seeing Mark at the 3-0-2 stat line, but Ronin gets to secure that Lord.
Yeah, it's a bit of... I wouldn't say it's questionable for Mark to really just focus on farming up in order to catch up to Justin here, but if they did that in the early game and instead of focusing on the ganks, focus on giving Mark a lot of the economy that he needs to build up the items, he may just be able to burst out anybody from the side of Ronin Esports, but we didn't see that happen. They're adjusting it now in the mid game, which I feel like is a bit too late.
Yeah, the problem here for Execration now is that, yes, they also have a good 4-man lineup to go around, get pickoffs, potentially win a skirmish. But again, time and time again, we were saying Naomi just spot out Chaknu, who's sitting at 0-4-2, and Chaknu's Cho. Chaknu's Wave the Dragon is absolutely key here for Execration to potentially win skirmishes and team fights.
Yeah, and this Lord, because of that team fight earlier on by Ronin, gets secured by themselves. The Lord is being focused down as the top lane inhibitor turret. Gonna go down. Tier 2 inhibitor turret going down, almost going down as well, and Ronin up for the siege. Hayabusa split pushing over to the bottom lane. It is doom for Execration this time around. It's going to be the defense of a lifetime for themselves.
Yeah, Ronin Esports. Let's see what the Akai can do here. Sagitnu gets slowed, but the last Insanity pops up, but just to avoid damage, barely any damage at all. The Veil damage is going to miss as well, so Execration can breathe a little bit easier, and they can reset just a little bit to defend.
Yeah, but here comes a beautiful Hurricane Dance onto 2. Chaknu gets the Jeet Kune Do onto 3, but it's not enough. HPs are down. Max forced to respawn a little bit early. He gets taken out. Savi, Daytona's welcome onto Sagitnu. Thorn Rose onto Savi. And another last Insanity here finally takes down Savvy. HPs are low for Silent and Pekka as well because of that last Insanity. Forced them back.
Good
and
news.
This is Execration still alive.
Yeah, good news for Filipino fans there because Execration has a lineup that's good in the defense, especially if Sagitnu can just time his last Insanity really well. And we saw because of the cooldown, it barely has any cooldown at this point of the game there. He can get it back here. And if they can just time it a little bit where they have a bit of insurance in the Farsa Feathered Airstrike, let's say Xborg used the last Insanity already, but we have the Farsa to potentially help us defend a little bit more if they get a little bit too close to the base. If Execration can really just play that on the defensively really well, they might be able to turn this around.
Oh, Naomi catches Kelra as well as the knockup there by Veil. And now it's Execration slowly trading things out. It's a 1-for-1 trade. Mountain Shocker once again committed. The only problem I'm seeing here for Execration is they can go for fights as long as they want. All the lanes are pushed up towards their side though. Top lane tier 1, top lane inhibitor turret is down. The minions push flooding in towards the top side will overpower the side that's coming in from Execration. They can't push out unless they equalize the lane priority here.
The biggest question as well for Execration is, will they have enough burst? Yeah, they have the Feathered Airstrike, but they're up against a Barats and an Akai. Akai, we don't know him to be as a very tanky hero, but people forget he is a pretty tanky hero. The Barats, even more so than that. The damage is the biggest question here for Execration at this point in the game. Good news, though, is that both carries, whatever next big team fight we're going to see here is going to be a test to see which carry was able to farm up fast enough because they're both clean on the death sheet right now. 4-0-3 for Mark, 5-0-1 for the Silent. The difference maker here could be Mark's killing spree to heal him up in team fights, which could potentially mean he has a longer lasting presence in a team fight compared to the Hayabusa, who's too reliant on the skills to be able to avoid damage.
And man, Execration, they're trying to go for the 18-minute mark win condition that they have, but The way that I'm seeing this, it's Ronin hitting their 18-minute mark win condition for themselves as Naomi tries to go for the blender onto Kelra. Not enough. Naomi trying to zone everybody up, gets the purple buff just in time. Lord is up right now, and this is crucial for Execration to secure. If they don't secure this, this might just be GG for themselves.
In the purple buff over there, we just saw a really good instance of the zoning and the damage that the Veil brings into this matchup here, and which is why Execration is having a little bit of a difficulty actually contesting key objectives and going into team fights and trying to get the good pickoffs because their frontline divers, their backline divers are having a hard time entering because of the timing that Veil has. The timing Justin has to pop off the skills when needed.
Chaknu is low. Sagitno uses the last insanity. Mountain Shocker to deter a lot of members here from the Execration from even continuing the team fight. And they managed to reset the Lord, not risking any cheeky steals from Execration.
Lord still up though. Ronin hasn't full committed to it just yet. Good positioning by Justin and Savi right now. Potential choke point here if they spot out any members of Execration. But here comes Execration. The retreat's a little bit too far, but they might just be able to make it to go for the defend.
Yeah,
Will they though?
Airstrike takes down Veil. Not going to be able to secure the Lord though, but Ronin may just pay the price. Chaknu gets caught out, gets a beautiful Jeet Kune Do, catches
blow.
3, but the final blow catches 3 at the same time. Savvy takes out Chaknu there, and he manages to die as he takes down Benedetta in his place, and Ronin are just Ronin into this fight.
They're Ronin in the deep right now. It's Execration because they are in the dark with what they need to do. Actually, that was a good attempt to try to do it, but Kelra's Electro final blow was just a little bit off by like a pixel or two off to the right. That was a good setup and a good bait play potentially by Chaknu because he saw him get caught out, but as he was running away, he went back real quick to get the knockoff from the Jeet Kune Do, which set up the Electro final blow. But again, Kelra was just a little bit off. That could have been such a great play for Execration there, but they just need... again, they weren't able to do it, and now they are forced to defend here. Good news, though, is that it seems like Ronin aren't going to be able to make too much out of this Lord push. Maybe.
Maybe as the Lord will be able to chunk out a little bit of the HP of that base. Naomi zoning everybody out just to get a little bit more damage out there, as this is the final defense potentially for Execration. They are forcing Ronin back. They're doing a good job there. Chaknu being the sacrificial lamb just to dish out a lot of damage with the Jeet Kune Do. And it's enough to deter the initial push, but this mid lane turret is going to go down. Silent himself is going to go down. It's a 0-for-1 trade so far, but the inhibitor turret in the mid lane is going to go down. Kelra gets knocked up. Damage from Justin is now uncontrollable.
But again, the killing spree for Mark came in big there, actually saved his life. He did have the immortality, and eventually they would have gotten the kill on the Hayabusa. But having that, the burst damage coming from the Justin is big though, but feathered wings. Able to save Ito Max, but Chaknu is going to be able to get a pick off there onto Naomi, but Naomi uses the Hurricane Dash to pin down Chaknu. Chak Mamba looking for a miracle right now to get away, but here comes Mark using the Phantom Execution to go in. He won't have his big burst damage. Here comes the last insanity, the flicker onto Pekka, but Pekka right under tower Execration are not able to chase that any further. They are not going to be able to break down this mid lane tower as well as Ronin was able to clear out the ways well enough, but Itomax gets caught out, spotted out by the Veil.
The snipe from that Twisty Tornado itself.
Twisty Tornado?
No, I just want to call it the Twisty Tornado.
Okay, we can go for that.
We can go for that for now.
Yeah,
for now. We'll go that for now. But while everything was happening, Benedetta tried to equalize everything and start pushing in towards the bottom lane. Valiant effort, but it's not enough.
Not enough right now. And Execration, though, they still have the lineup to be able to defend this well enough as the glowing wand gets picked up here by Sagetu. So a little bit more damage coming out from him as well. They'll be able to use the last insanity to start off the fight, have a little bit of ticking damage over time, and then eventually the last insanity will come back to burst.
Gets knocked up. Chaknu, I'm not sure why you want to dive that when 3 members of the rest of Ronin is right in front of you. And now inhibitor turret in mid lane is down. A lot of pressure on the side of Execration. Bottom lane is being eyed out. Look at the damage output of the feathered airstrike onto Justin. Forced him out. Chaknu once again in the back lines. Gets the Jeet Kune Do onto Naomi. Chaknu really eyeing out Justin here. He is overstaying his welcome. He might just pay the price as Kelra gets pinned down by the Hurricane Dance. Once again, gets the Jeet Kune Do, gets eaten out alive by the Tonus Welcome. The damage output onto Pekka. Pekka low on HP. Chaknu chasing him relentlessly. Naomi gets kicked back, will potentially get killed out. Chaknu,
He still has
the
immortality.
shield. He has the immortality. He's still diving in. Sagitno with the fatal last insanity takes him down.
And now Ronin Esports are going to be forced to go back there. Good play there by Ronin, and especially Silent, spotting out the situation where Execration split themselves a little bit too far away from Itomax's Farsa. They're going to be able to secure the kill onto that backline mage there, but Pekka going down as well, but that's the Isan Shin. So Ronin still has their ace in the hole in that Veil. Will the Windstorm and the Wind Blow be enough? Will the combos be enough? With all the wind that Veil can throw out, would be enough to finally take down Execration. But Execration, they're still in this fight. They're still fighting back. They are one of the fighting prides of the Philippines right now, and they're doing everything they can to stay in this tournament, to stay alive in the MPL Invitational.
It's for Execration right now, it's not about, we want to represent the Philippines. We're the best team in the Philippines. No, this is their tournament life on the line. So they're fighting as much as they can. As Ronin, they're doing a good job keeping Execration at bay, only on their side. We haven't seen any big pushes aside from that bottom lane push, finally taking down the tier, focusing on the tier 2 inhibitor turret there for the side of Ronin Esports. Cuts down the lane so that not a lot of pressure happens. As that happens, gets the Wave the Dragon, gets suppressed by Chakno. The Winter Trenchant keeps him up alive. Kelra, though, will try to get a lot of damage onto Pekka. Sagitno with the backlash. He actually went from the bottom lane. From the bottom lane, he went immediately to the mid lane. Now Sagitno's going to be paying the price, but he already did his job. The immortality is going to pop. Sagitno forced him back off there. He is going to get taken out by Silent, no doubt. And it's now a 1-for-1 trade. And the HP's are low on the side of Ronin and Execration as well, so we don't know which way this fight is going to go, but Etomax is going to fall down. That is the huge chunk of the damage that Execration has, and it's going to be hard for them to defend this.
Oh no, that's the main tool that they can use here to defend, but Ronin Esports, they want to be safe. They are going to be going for the Lord. So by the time the Lord starts pushing and gets to the base of Execration, it'll be a full-on 5v5 winner-take-all team fight that we're going to see there. Heartbreaking though for Execration. They spent way too much to try to take down Justin, but Execration are going to try to contest this. Chaknu not going to be able to get there in time though. Shadow kill already used by that Hayabusa and Chaknu. Mamba cannot delay this any further. He has to go down as fast as he can, so by the time his cooldown timers are done, he'll have enough time to defend with Execration. I don't think that was a right call to try to force Ronin to chase him.
Only 3 members, well, soon 4 members alive to defend there for Execration. Without Chaknu to really set up plays, this might just be GG and Execration will be eliminated. We have yet to see if the defense is up for Execration. Lord marching in on over towards the middle lane.
It's already there.
It's only a matter of time before Ronin secures his game 3. We're going to have to see what's going to happen. Kelra gets predicted, gets knocked off, and forced to back off. Lord, though, already a quarter HP. They finally managed to take out the threat. But the actual threat here right now is Ronin and the minion waves. They're trying their best to clear out the minion waves as fast as they can. Mark forced to back off. Justin, low on HP, and that is going to be the game. Ronin Esports eliminates Execration and moves forward in their bracket.